Hello and welcome to the Connection Couch.
Today we're talking about LinkedIn Stories, a brand new feature.
We are, so stay tuned for hot goss. Thank you for joining us. My name is Reg Sorrell.
And I would be Jo Saunders.
She would be Jo Saunders. Today we're talking about LinkedIn and stories in particular. But what I want to do is I want you to hang around to the very end because we're going to teach people the biggest mistake people make in stories.
Yes.
The biggest annoying mistake people
and it's a
making
massive
stories.
Lost opportunity.
Yeah. So if you want to know what that is, stick around to the very end. All right, Jo. So tell me about LinkedIn stories. What are they?
Do you want me to tell you a story about stories? Oh, that's cute.
Tell me about stories.
So, stories on LinkedIn. Now, I talk about telling stories in your content. This is not that. This is a story feature. It's very similar to the story feature on Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, and all those sorts of things. So when I heard it was coming to LinkedIn, I was a little bit skeptical because LinkedIn's a professional platform and those sorts of features can be a bit gimmicky and a bit
fluffy.
Bit fluffy, but fluffy,
Let's
yes.
just put nicely. Fluffy.
Yeah, fluffy. Yeah, so when I attended the launch, by LinkedIn, I just drop in there. So, well, let's just sort of set the scene here. So they were only released in Australia, the Netherlands and Brazil as sort of beta testing countries. So it's only been out a couple of weeks at the time of filming. So when we release this, it'll be a bit longer, obviously. Do the math. Good at maths, aren't you, Reg? Work it out. Anyway, so I got invited to the launch by LinkedIn. So they shared exactly what stories are and what we can do with them. But the features are going to be growing. So what we're talking about today might change because there are some things that are missing that will hopefully be brought into it. But stories allow you to share bits of content through the mobile app just with your connections that only last for 24 hours.
Right.
So they disappear after that, like a little genie going poof!
So if I follow you, I can't. So if I'm a follower, not a connection, the chances are I'm not able to see a story.
You've got me there. I'm going to say no.
Right.
I've got to check that.
Okay.
And I didn't check it before creating this. And I didn't know you were going to throw that question to me, Reg. But essentially, it's people that are in your network. Now, with stories, the content isn't, you can't find it on your profile. Like, I can't go on desktop firstly and find stories. They just don't exist. But even on the mobile app, I can't go to your profile and find your stories. I can only consume them in the stories area, which is a strip at the top of the app that you can sort of like scroll through like a carousel. And you can only see obviously the ones that are available. Now, LinkedIn has an algorithm because as this feature gets rolled out, more people will have access to it and more people will start spamming using it, depending on how you look at it.
Yep.
Now, a quick pop quiz, Reg. Do you know how many stories you can create a day?
I do know this, yes.
I know. We've just discussed it. Do you want to share that and how you're feeling?
100.
100 stories
Who's
per day.
going to make 100 stories?
The spammers.
The spammers, yes. Yeah.
Those, growth hacking type people who are automating and systemizing will go, yeah, we're onto this. But you've got to look at the payoff, the return versus the effort. And we'll get more into that.
Yep.
But so 100 stories. Now you can have images, you can have videos. The videos can only be 20 seconds long.
Yep.
So you can shoot the story in your phone. So you're on the app.
So in the LinkedIn app?
Yep.
And can you do it outside of the LinkedIn app and upload a story that's already from...
Well, you have to upload it in the app. I thought you were going to say, can you schedule? That's not available.
No.
I don't think that will be available, to be honest. But you could create a story elsewhere. So the ways of creating a story, you can go into the app, take a photo, take a video on the app and talk to the camera. Now, we'll come to that in a minute, what's good and what's not. But share something in the moment and off you go. You can add stickers.
You can add stickers. And there's one you mentioned before, which is pretty clever. That's the at mention stickers.
Yeah, so there's one functionable sticker. Now, if you look at Facebook and Instagram stories, there's a lot of functionality. And that bit of the stories I actually quite like because you can do all sorts of stuff. Now, these features, I think, will come to LinkedIn as they roll out this feature. But at mentioning means if I'm talking about Reg, I can at mention you by putting a sticker that's visual so people can see I've at mentioned you. And you'll get a notification. But the only thing you can do with that is message me.
Yeah, I can't actually engage with the story.
No, I mean sometimes it just calls for a quick thumbs up or a like or a heart or not that you can
something.
Yeah, something that's a bit more quick and because stories are quick and sort of fluid. you want to better react in a similar way. And you don't necessarily want to write a long-winded wet message as a response.
No, you don't want to put a story out that people like. Well, you do want to do that, but you don't want to then get 100 messages from people going, oh, I like your story, or how'd you do that, or...
Yeah, well, unless, I mean, messages are great to start conversations, but if they're kind of quick one-liners...
Yeah, if you're getting 20 thumbs up...
Yeah,
you know?
that really lends itself to a reaction, because it doesn't require a response. So you're kind of giving someone something to do. So that's... Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's the bit about stories, and I'm impressed, Reg, that you said stickers without pulling a face.
I know, I'm impressed myself.
Because if you've seen any of our other previous videos where we talk about videos on LinkedIn and the ability to add stickers. Stickers.
Yeah.
Reg is not a fan of stickers.
What do you think of stickers? Do you like them? Do you use them? What do you think of the actual stickers themselves, like the style or the art?
I'm not impressed, to be honest.
I'm not impressed. I think, for me, that's one of the reasons why I don't use them, is I think they're a little childish, a little juvenile, and I just don't think that kind of suits LinkedIn. Am I wrong or am I right? Just put right. Just put a thumbs up if I'm right.
Well, I like some of the choices, but the thing is with stickers, they've added a new range, particularly lately around Pride Week, Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
So you can add something in to support a cause you're passionate about. And those stickers I think are really good because they say what they need to say. But as they build up their sticker library, you can't search the stickers.
Yeah,
so you've
that's
got to
annoying.
scroll through and find the one, and then you just go, that'll do.
Yep.
And I'd actually like to be able to have some a bit more branded stickers or a bit more like Bitmojis. I don't know if you use Bitmojis, but if that was a integration that you could, because that's sort of customized stickers. But yeah, you've got to think about where does the sticker fit into your brand and if it does or not. Now the other way of stylizing your story is creating them outside of LinkedIn. So rather than just shooting something quickly, you could upload something from your camera roll, whether it's video or images. So you could actually use a different platform, such as Instagram stories or Facebook stories, to create something, download it from there, upload it to LinkedIn. I've done that. You could also use Canva. So Canva has a template for Instagram stories which fits LinkedIn, and that allows you to create branded stories.
Right.
But you've got to weigh up the production versus the payoff, like I said, because if you're going to put this beautiful image together that's taking you hours and you perfected where that letter's going to be and what font, and then for it to disappear. Now, one thing you can do with stories is you can download them. So once you've uploaded to LinkedIn, you can download them. But if you've created it elsewhere, you don't need to do that.
Yeah,
It's only useful to download if you've created something and you've put beautifully placed stickers on that you want to keep that image with the stickers on.
Yeah.
No, I can't see Reg doing that.
No,
yeah.
not really.
So then what would you use stories for then? So Reg, how have you been using stories so far? Like what kind of things have you found useful to share?
Well, like you said, sort of behind the scenes stuff or stuff that's happening in the build up to an event or for a shoot, or like I interviewed some clients last week, so I did a couple of just sitting there waiting, so I did a couple of stories, coffee, camera, microphone type of thing. So that's really all I've been doing it for, and I have only been doing it just because LinkedIn is new to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's actually consuming. Because I haven't gone back within 24 hours, I don't know how many views it's got or whether it's worth,
so that lends
the time.
So that's an interesting point about metrics, because the only metrics we've got right now are views. And once the story disappears in 24 hours, the views go with it. There's nowhere that content's indexed. So while it's not findable, it's also not findable for metrics. So you can't see what's working, what didn't work. But then you've got to question, well, is that something you really need to focus on? Or are we just focusing on the fact that it's allowing people to get to know you behind the scenes?
I don't think, LinkedIn's telling you exactly what they want you to do with the stories, because they don't want you to concentrate on the metrics because they're not giving you any.
Well, that's right. I mean, and you don't know who's seeing it. You don't know who's reacting, because that's not a thing yet. I think that will come.
I would say
the only thing you know is who's commenting, messaging you. So if your story triggers a conversation, that could lead to business. It could lead to something else. Or if they mention it in conversation, then you know they've seen it. But other than that, it's just allowing you to build that relationship with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we covered when to use them?
When? So you mentioned a couple of examples, which I think are great. So behind the scenes, I know, he knows stuff. Who knew? So if you're running an event, so we run LinkedIn Local Perth, I would be sharing the sort of lead up to the event. You're setting up, what's happening, what's behind the scenes. If you're speaking, you might do the behind the scenes. What are you doing to prepare? What are you drinking? You know, some people drink certain teas to get their voice all loose.
Me.
All that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You know, maybe it's you've got to look at, if you're posting for engagement, like if you're doing which dress shall I wear, A or B, and you're holding them both up in the photo.
Right.
The only way I can engage with that is message. So that's not really probably a good use of the story. But if you're just sharing this is what I'm doing, it allows people to get to know you. You know, it might be what you're drinking, as in what's actually, I'm having a chai latte with soy milk. No one cares about it really, but it's that whole, if someone says, Joe, that's right, you drink chai latte with soy milk, and the only place is in my story.
Or the beetroot latte.
Yeah, beetroot latte, they're really good, you should try them. Yeah.
Now,
with your content though, whatever you're going to share, you need to think about your strategy. So every piece of content I share, I ask myself, why am I sharing this?
Yeah.
And also, is it feed worthy?
Good. That's a good term.
Filter.
That's a good term or a good filter. Is it feed worthy?
Feed worthy. So feed worthy, I think of it as newsworthy. The stuff that should be on the home feed is stuff that you want people to see, your connections to see, but also people in the wider network, because if they go to your activity, it's all there. Stories are almost inner circle content. It's that whole, you're in my little club here. You can now see this content and get to know a little bit more about me. So that's what you've got to think about. And if you're sharing up to 100 a day,
don't
firstly. But say you're sharing a series. So we'll use an event because that's a good reason. Or you're having a shoot with Reg. You might do the whole, here's me getting ready. This is what I'm wearing. I'm putting on my makeup on. I don't know whether you do that. You're having a cup of tea. You're looking at your script. All this sort of stuff to show behind the scenes. Then you might create a series of 5 or maybe 10 after each other, because it's telling the story, because stories connected together. Now 100's overkill, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
You'd have to be doing, running a conference and having loads of speakers that you're organising, or no one's that interested.
It comes down to every video. It has to have some sort of purpose, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it is just a matter of 20-second video, just so people get to know you in short installments over the period of time.
Yeah.
Then by all means, but.
And it allows people to connect to, like I said, the person behind the profile. So the stuff that's on your LinkedIn profile might be a little bit more corporate speak. It might be all about what you've achieved and where you're going and that sort of stuff. Your content might be a little bit more, strategic in that sense. But this is the, when you loosen your tie, when you chuck off your shoes, what are you doing? What are you into? So should we get into the what not work? What not work? What not work, Reg?
English.
I speak English.
Grammar.
What doesn't work? What doesn't work,
What works
Reg?
and what doesn't?
Yes.
Right. So let's talk about what does work very quickly.
What does work?
Yeah, what does work?
Well, what does work? Anything that can show emotion quickly. So images, video, and think video as moving images, I think, rather than videos you've heavily produced. So if we just jump into the what doesn't work, because that'll also highlight what does work. Yeah. So from testing this feature out for a couple of weeks, the stuff I'm seeing that I think is a missed opportunity, and it's just not designed for stories, is what you call the talking head video.
Talking head, yeah.
So can you just explain what a talking head video is?
A talking head video is essentially you talking to camera.
Like us now?
Like essentially what we're doing now, but it's usually a bit of a tighter frame, and it is just you, so it is a talking head.
So one thing that LinkedIn have shared recently is some stats around people watching video, and they say that 80% watch video on mute. I'm one of those people. I actually like watching people speak without subtitles. Now, captioning is a whole other thing, and we have episodes about that. But if you're not captioning your video, you're missing out an opportunity for the people that aren't listening.
Yep.
People don't listen to stories; they watch stories. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway from this. I think.
So do not use sound on your stories.
So go Charlie Chaplin.
Yes.
Now, if you think about those old-fashioned movies, you can watch those and you can wet yourself laughing, and there's no word spoken. Now, I'm not saying you have to be funny.
Dinky piano sound.
Yeah, but you just have to emphasise things. It's all about getting that emotion across, whether it's entertaining emotion or something. Maybe you're sharing that you're nervous about something, but how do you say you're nervous without saying it? How can you show it? So stories allow you to show rather than say. I've never said that before. That's pretty clever.
Show rather than say.
Show rather than say. Oh, insightful. If I see you sharing that, I know where you got it from.
Yeah.
But I think it's about just demonstrating things, like showing things. Unboxing videos. Say you've published a book and you've just got your package. You can share a video of that without speaking. I mean, we know you're excited because you can put the sticker on to go, woohoo, whatever the relevant sticker is, and we can see your face, and we can see the book, and we can get excited with you. And that might trigger something. It might trigger, I need to buy this book. Or maybe on your posting strategy publicly, you're going to share that you're having a launch. So the 2 and 2 go together. So stories are the in-between content, the filler content, it is a little bit fluffy, but you've got to think, you don't want it to be fluffy for the sake of being fluffy.
No,
it
that's
has to be fluffy with purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome, fluffy with purpose. I like that.
That's another thing we've come up with.
Yeah, fluffy with purpose. That's LinkedIn stories right there.
Totally.
Summed it up.
Fluffy with purpose. So
Awesome.
we want what kind of content do we want to see in stories? I'd love to see what you're interested in seeing and what you're consuming right now.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what functionality you want to see that work within the stories as well.
So my functionality I want to see is, the biggest one is reactions. Being able to react to a story.
Absolutely.
I think that's critical. What about yourself? Anything else you want to see?
Oh, well, that's one for me as well. Just be able to react, because the ones that you've sent me, I'll look at the bottom and think, oh, like the first one you sent me, I didn't know what to do, because all it was reply at the bottom. And I thought, I don't want to reply, I want to react.
Yes.
And react with the, anyway.
Oh, now, can I just share a quick what not to do as well?
Quickly,
what not to do.
Quickly.
One thing you can do with your story, you can download it, you can delete it, and you can share it by private message. Really think about why you're sharing it by private message. I mean, I've been doing it right now so people who don't have access can see, get insight into what stories look like. But if you start sharing your story, you essentially could be seen as spam, because people will see your story in the feed depending on the algorithm. So watch the stories you want to see more of, and don't watch the ones you don't. Simple as that.
Top tip right there. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We have loads of content like this all around LinkedIn and how you can grow your business. So if that's up your alley, then I would suggest you hit subscribe, Joel. It would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
It would.
It would be a fantastic idea.
We like to grow our subscribers.
We'd like a few more subscribers.
We would.
We want to share the love. So if you know someone who would enjoy the content, get them to subscribe as well. Right, we'll have more content, I would imagine, next week, Joel. What do you reckon?
I imagine so too.
Yeah, good idea. Stay tuned for more information all around LinkedIn and growing your business. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. See you soon.
See you then.